Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Alchemizing Energy. Right now, we have a special guest, Tre.963 in the house. What's up, Trey? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
All right, all right. So before we get going, we also got Napasha Don in the house, and we're ready to alchemize this energy, bring darkness to light with our special guest.
Right. You said tapas.
All right, all right. Trey 963, what's up? How have you been? How are you?
I've been good, keeping my head up, staying focused.
Man, so you the trial has happened. A lot is going on. Um, I know you have like probably some conflicting thoughts. Like, a life sentence. Did you
Right.
ever think it would go down like that?
I didn't think that he was going to get that much time. I ain't gonna lie, like that. It was low key, like kind of shocking a little bit that he got that much time, but at the same time, it's like he did get what he deserved. You feel me? So it's like at the same time, because like he's laughing in the court, like he's laughing in the court. Just
Tripping.
yeah, like he has no remorse. Even the judge said he had no remorse. You feel me?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And I really want to get into that with the no remorse. I want to really get into even just you in general before we really get deeper into the nature boy stuff. I really want to get to know you and really talk about your like comings and goings and what even brought you into the group and the things that has been happening now, the things that happened in the past, how you're affected now, and just overall like this final thing and how like how you might be feeling, what your thoughts are. So let's go into like early childhood. Like, who is trade 396 369 3963? I be getting the I mean, 369. Damn you! I keep every time I see 963, I hear 369. Damn
Right,
you! Get
right.
low, get low, get low. So
Right. I feel
who, who's Trey?
well. Trey is. I am who I am. You feel me? I don't know, but I guess I could get started with just saying that. Um, I don't know.
Who are you? No, okay. So let me
Like,
let me ask a more easier question. How did you like? What led you, growing up as a young woman, LGBT, to join
I,
a group of a cult that is a polygamous cult for men and women? What made you join that particular group, Nick Carbonation?
okay, what made me join Carbonation?
Yes. What led up to it?
Well, I was already. Well, let's just start with that. When I was 13, I was already waking up to the truth about the world. I was already into spirituality, and I was seeking truth. I was seeking knowledge, and around that time, age 13, is when I was seeing 963, 369, 639. I was seeing these numbers repetitively a lot. And at first I didn't really know what they mean, but I looked up and it means that they're angel numbers. And Nikola Tesla said that these numbers are a key to the universe. So I was like, that's really dope when I found that out. But the reason I'm telling y'all this is because I've been into spirituality since the age of 13. So this is way before I've tapped into Nature Boy and things like that. So before Nature Boy, I was tapping into spiritual things like I say a year before I went out there. You feel me? So I was 21 when I went out there. And like I say 20 and 19 tapping into.
Something just happened. I think that you got kicked out. We can't hear you. Something just happened. Hold on. She's talking. Hey, Treasure. Hello. Oh, you gonna have to leave and come back because it cuts you out. I don't know what happened. Are you on mute? Okay, you can't hear me. Hold on, maybe I gotta get.
No, I can hear you. I can hear you just fine, Genesis. I'm texting you something really quick though. I can't hear the 963 sister.
Oh, okay.
So you probably have to go out. Her name's Treasure. Treasure. You'll probably have to exit, remove yourself. If you go down, it says remove yourself or leave studio, either way, and then come back in because we cannot hear you at all. Your audio's gone. Your
Yeah, like it just went out. It was going good, and then we went out. But anyways, this young lady has a dynamic story. Like I said, she is she is in the LGBT community, and it's interesting to find a person that have joined to join this community with that because it was a mainly a polygamous cult, and Nature Boy did speak and promote polygamy. So, and polygyny. I don't even know if it would be considered polygamy. I don't know what it was considered,
Well,
but
wait. He was doing polygyny. One man, multiple women. That's polygyny.
oh, okay, that's not the same thing as polygamy.
Polygamy is just blanket, just multiple different people. It's just like a blanket. Like polygamy could be one woman, multiple men, or it could be one man, multiple women. But when you get more specific, polygyny is one man. The way you can remember it is a genie. The N at the end is guy. It means woman. Gyno.
Oh,
Poly is
okay.
multiple, and then gyno is women. So polygyny. You're back. How's your audio?
I don't know what happened. I couldn't hear nothing. I couldn't hear.
Awesome. We can hear
Yeah,
you now.
the spirits is trying to the spirits is trying to interfere, but it's okay.
I'm dead.
And I just want to say really quickly, I love the fact that you're doing this interview, Genesis. You know that I can't stay long, but I completely support you, Treasure, and all the former. Some people don't like to be called victims, but the former members of Carbonation.
Mm,
I'm really rooting for you and your healing. But I wanted to be a part of this a little bit. I'm going to
right.
jump off, but I'm going to keep listening. So I just want to say I really respect you and I support you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Did you have any
Genesis?
questions before you leave Nepal?
Oh, sure. Thank you. Oh, you're so nice to me to let
Yeah.
me. I didn't want to bogart the interview,
Go ahead.
but
You can get it. I'll come in after you.
awesome. So you were talking a little bit about your childhood and your journey. I love that you brought up Nikola Tesla, and now I see why you have the 963. It makes sense. Um, you have a similar uh motive, which I've heard actually all the members that I've heard that were taken advantage of and exploited and abused, they all say I was searching for something more. I was searching for my higher self. So I want to ask you, um, was there a moment or is there still times when you're like feeling guilty toward your own self, like damn, I was searching for my higher self, but
Right.
look what I got myself. Do you ever feel self guilt, or does that get to you at times? Are you working with that?
Yeah. Sometimes, yeah, I do feel that sometimes. Sometimes I feel that like damn. But I try to like just keep the positive in mind and like pay attention to the things that I've learned, what it taught me, manipulation codes. And then I've also thought like, like when I actually sat and thought about it, I realized that my spirit had to go to see for myself what it was and if it was actually something. And the fact that I seen it firsthand really helped me because before going out there, like I wasn't seeing certain videos like of the negative videos. Like I would see certain negative videos, but I didn't know how true they were because I was being brainwashed and programmed by Eligio because he would drop videos and he would say, "Oh, don't pay attention to the negativity. These are people going to stop you from your path. They left. They're lying on me. Things like that." So like I didn't know how true the certain videos were, and I think my spirit needed to go for itself to see if it was actually something, and so I realized that, and I try to, like I said, I try to pay attention and focus on the positive and like what I learned from it, um, and all of that.
That's awesome. What do you think? So Genesis, I'm promising you. You know, we're both two Geminis. We can go and go. I won't take over the interview,
No, go
but
ahead. Ask your questions because I'm with the I'm because there's like a specific subjects that I want to hit on, but go ahead.
oh, thank you so much. Yeah. So you're dealing.
Backwards.
You know what? You know what I noticed too,
What?
that a lot of the survivors of Nature Boy Eligio, a lot of you are very, despite what you've been through, you seem a lot of very stable, very level headed. Where most people think, oh y'all, I can't believe you let that happen. I would never let that happen to me.
Right.
How often have you dealt with that? And I want you to speak to those people and speak to other survivors that it doesn't take a crazy, weak person.
Right.
Talk to us about that.
Yeah, that's deep, man, for real. Because like everybody will be like, "Oh, I would never do this and I would never do that," but you really can't say that because it all depends on the circumstances that someone is in, and it all just it's like wrong. It's like you in the wrong place, wrong time. You feel me? It's like the circumstances. Certain people were into it with their families at the time. They weren't on good terms with their families. Personally, I know because me and Juju, we weren't on the best terms with our family. We were going through things at that time. I was depressed at that time. I was also into the truth heavy at that time and seeking spirituality, speaking the truth, was searching for the truth. And so it was just the circumstances that pretty much brought us to Carbonation. And he was speaking a message. He was proclaiming to be the Messiah. And, we were vulnerable at that time and seeking and like, okay, he was able to manipulate certain people to come over there. And you don't have to be weak. You don't have to be weak to be manipulated or anything. It's just the circumstances and scenarios. You feel me?
So, Juju, did you end up coming there with Juju, or did you meet him like kind of just first when you got there?
Well, Juju actually my homie. Like I knew him growing up. So we were I actually showed him a video of Nature Boy one day, and how Nature Boy was saying how people need to stop sun gazing and looking into the sun. People need to stop sun gazing, and how that could like be damaging and things like that. And like he was explaining it a little deeper, saying that how everyone is the sun. We come from the sun, and you don't have to sun gaze because the sun is already touching your eyes without you having to look at directly into the sun. So I was like trying to put him onto that because he was sharing a video about how we got to stare into the sun, and I was like, I don't think we should be staring into the sun. And so I recommended he watch that video that Nature Boy did, and that's what got him onto Nature Boy, because he was like, oh, that's makes sense.
So he was one of the most loyal. I mean, he's still a follower of Rich Boy. When you left, I mean, did he like kind of give you a hard time for thinking about leaving, or did you sneak away, or how did you end up leaving? Was it like
Yeah,
yeah?
I mean, who are you saying, did Juju give me a hard time?
Yeah, like because you guys have been friends for years, and then now, and he's still following Nature Boy, but you left. So does he hate you now because you're not? Are you like not? Did he turn his back on? Like, is he still cool with you? Y'all done grew up together. Are y'all still friends?
Well, I mean, I don't know. You feel me? We weren't really friends like that. Like, to be honest with you, you feel me? Like he was like my homie type shit, but we weren't really friends like that. But I do know his brother. I did grow up with him, seen him at school, seen him outside, shit like that. But he didn't give me a hard time when I was about to leave. But before going out there, he gave me a hard time because I lied to my ex I lied to my ex-girlfriend's mother, and I basically said that I'm not watching Nature Boy no more, and that I'm not watching him no more. And he got mad about that, and then he just left me and went out.
So as a LGBT person, like a woman, you didn't find anything strange about like joining a polygamous cult that was more mainly like men and women together.
No, no,
It's
not at all.
I'm sorry, polygynous.
No, I didn't see nothing wrong with it at all because, like I told you, I don't know if you heard me in the beginning of the interview because I had,
No, you know what? It cut out.
yeah, it had cut out, but he supports LGBT. He was speaking about LGBT. He was saying that he supports that and he's for LGBT and how it's natural and how it's actually indigenous and is divine and how we're two spirited beings and all this other shit. So I was like, okay, to me,
So,
I'm just
and then he just changed up once you got there as time went on. And didn't find any kind of like hypocritical, like there was like, what, wait a minute, like pause.
no, I didn't find anything hypocritical because your mind is being played with when you're there. So he's playing with your mind. He's like, um, this is a test. I might be testing you. I gotta put pressure on you while you're here. Um, this is like it's like you're programmed before you even come out there. You're already expecting to be tested. You're already expecting um them to put pressure on you or some shit like that. So you don't know what it is. You don't, but at the same time, I'm not thinking about anything hypocritical because it's so much other shit going on. You feel me? It's so much other shit going on. I'm not thinking about anything hypocritical because it's not coming to me yet. All it is coming to me after I left. Like after I've been away. All of the members, once they leave, you can ask all the members. They say after leaving, I needed time away to see certain shit. They couldn't see it being in the midst of everything. They can't see it being in the midst of all the programming, all the simulations being ran on them, all of the mental abuse when he's yelling at you and you're kind of like, what the fuck? Like, you feel me? Like, and how he runs the camp. He runs it in a specific way. It's like he's 10 steps ahead of everybody. It's like if you try to speak out or say anything negative in the camp, you can get jumped. You can be looked at as a demon. And if they look at you as a demon, you're automatically like an outsider and viewed as an outsider immediately after that. Like they treat you horrible after that. That's just
Wow.
the truth. Like I had one day I was looked at as a demon. I had to sit outside. I couldn't sit inside. I had to wash some stuff. I had to wash some stuff out in the sink or some shit like that. I couldn't. I had to ask someone to go give me some water and go in the refrigerator, give me some water and shit, and just treat it bad, you know. So they run it in a specific way, and they have reasons for everything that they do. So they're before you can even come up with a reason of why they're doing certain things, of why certain things are happening the way that they are, before you can even come up with the reason, they're telling you the reason before you can even come up with it. And it's a false narrative and they're twisting the narrative and they're making it seem like, oh, we're doing this to put pressure on you, or we're doing this to test you to see if you're gonna get triggered and if you cannot be in your demons. It's always something like that. You feel me?
And it's also like, does he feel like he uses the whole group against you, where it's not just him that's attacking you; it's everybody that's kind of like feeding into it. It's almost like a group think. Is that what it was?
Wait, say that again. I couldn't hear you. I couldn't hear you.
I said, was it always also kind of like a group think, where it was also the group members were also coming against each other with his rhetoric that they remembered, so that it's even more people, so you really don't get a time to even gather your thoughts.
Yeah, yeah, it's all type of stuff going on, so you don't have time to gather your thoughts. You don't have time. It's like as soon as you get there, stuff is happening. He's telling you, he has you in charge of something immediately when you're there. Like everyone has a job in the home, and certain people wash dishes. Certain we rotate. Certain people sweep, and then we actually cleaned a lot. You know, we cleaned a lot over there, like 3 times a day. Like I had to sweep the kitchen 3 times a day, you know. So because especially because it was like outside and it would get dirty, but it was excessive. But you know, they pretty much kept us busy. Like we
Like
were,
you was working at Taco Bell or something like
yeah,
that.
we were
Like
kept
a fast food restaurant. Keep cleaning the cleaning the
damn near, yeah, damn near, yeah, because like they just had like certain schedules. All right, this is what we're gonna be doing today. Um, you're in charge of this. This is he's in charge of this. We're in charge of this. Today we're gonna be watching a download of Nature Boy speaking, or this is gonna happen, or this is gonna happen. And I'm not saying you can't learn. I didn't learn certain shit over there. That's why I came over there, is because he was speaking truth. You know, he was speaking certain. I'm not saying everything he talk about is the truth, but he was speaking truth at the time, and that was resonating with me, and talking about nature and going back to nature, things like that. And I want to be a part of the movement. But yeah,
so at one point, Nature Boy leaves and goes to Atlanta, and it's like basically the patients are running the asylum. That's what I call it. You pretty much have the people in the cult that are pretty much running things. Was that did it ease up a little bit once he was gone, or did it get more intense with just the with just people like being there and without the leader, right? Was it a little bit easier?
um, I would say to a certain extent. To a certain extent, like yeah, sometimes it would be easier, but like either way it go, just like he's in jail right now, and he still is controlling the cult. So no matter if he's away, he still has control over the cult, because he has control over the cult members' minds, and belief that he's the Messiah, and belief that he's modern day Jesus. So he still has control over the mind. So regardless if he's gone or not, if he says do this or run this simulation, or do this to test somebody.
What is a simulation? When what you say is a simulation?
A simulation is something that he plans, and like he made me run on rocks. That was a simulation that he put me through, and he made the men tell me, "Oh, you want to be a man? Oh, you want to be a man?" That was a simulation that he put me through. And I know he put me through that because when I left, I was able to piece all the pieces together, and finally see that he put me through a simulation.
Trying to
And
break you? Well, you think he was trying to break you of like being of a manly of being a stud? He wanted to break you of that.
yeah, yes.
Wow. And when you would talk to him about that, like you said that you spoke to him and said, "Hey, what do I have to keep doing this?" And how what is his response?
Um, yeah, I went like after that, I was finna faint. I almost fainted from that and everything. And he stood over my body and was like, "Oh, I should have never did that." And it made me question, like, what do you mean you should have never did that? And after that, he was just like, well, I didn't say that out loud, but I was like, what does he mean he should never did that? And the reason that this slipped my mind was because he went out to the meeting with the men and everybody, and he blamed the men. He deflected, and he was like, "Why did y'all have her run on those rocks?" And so in a moment, it slipped my mind. Like I was just like, so they had me run on the rocks, but he had me run on the rocks. And after that meeting, like I would say, like a day or two later, I have a meeting by myself with Eligio, and I asked him like, "Can I be here the way that I am? Can I be here the way that I am?" Because I was confused based off of me running on the rocks and people saying, "I want to be a man. I want to be a man."
Right. So he was trying to prove to you that women are stronger or weaker or whatever, and that if you want to be on the rocks, well, okay, you want to be a man, well, then you do man things. So here's
Right,
this scenario where you're going to do this, right?
right.
Sorry, Nyla just joined. Hey, Nyla.
Hi.
Okay. So we're talking about the situation where Nature Boy had Tre.963 run on some really glass sharp rocks in the middle of the Puerto Rico.
Right.
Are you sure they were rocks and not like some like empty beer cans that people had? But you know, beer bottles people was throwing into the sand or something like that. Like, how do you know they weren't like really actual glass?
Man, they weren't. I don't think there was real glass, but they felt like it felt like glass. Like, cause when you come up this little hill, it's
Hmm.
like really small, like shards of rocks. Like they're like really small, and like it's like gravel. Like, and so he literally had us run on those rocks, like laps around it, laps. Like we're going laps and laps, and you can't listen. You can't even walk on these rocks. It's hard to even walk barefoot on these
Mm.
rocks, get
Can
alone
I ask
run
you a
on them.
question about that?
Yes.
I don't mean to jump in. I didn't know about this, so I'm sorry that I'm just hearing about it. And it's just when you think there's not anything that could shock you more about this person, I hear this. So this was all because he wanted to prove to you that you're not the way you identify. He's trying to show you, no, this is wrong. Physically having you physically tortured. That's
Yes.
what he
Yes.
did.
Yes.
He did.
And
This is why I said this is why I always clap. Hallelujah. He's in prison for life and 10 years. This is what I'm saying, everybody. People don't get it. People are like, oh, come on, Rick. No, this is a dangerous, sick person. So I just want to clarify. I'm so sorry that happened to you. Go ahead. Sorry to
yes, it's
interrupt.
okay. Thank you. Thank you. That's why I'm like, and I'm telling you, the people who clap for this dude still, I swear, like they're fucking with the members' minds. Like the people, the cult members who are still there, like I know it's fucking with them because they're like, oh, that means he is like, I know people see, like there's people who see that he's. So like,
Yeah,
yes.
no, we're clapping that he's in prison for life. That's what we're clapping about. Like, goodbye.
No,
Hell
I
yeah,
know.
we were celebrating. We still celebrating, baby. It's
Right,
a
no,
holiday.
I'm about to, yeah,
Yes.
because that's torture, and you don't. I mean, come on now. Why would you put someone bodily through? You're fainting, and then he stands
Yeah.
over top of you. I shouldn't have done that. He purposely wanted you to hear him say that. That's definitely messing with your mind. And then you hear him go in there and act like someone else was the one responsible for you fainting after being thrown, running around on rocks. For what? What is the purpose?
Exactly, exactly. And I go to ask him, I have a meeting with him and I ask him face to face, like, is it okay if I be here the way that I am? And he said, yes, he made it seem like it was cool. So I was like, okay, well, I was like, still throwing off, like, okay, cool. Now, mind you, all of this is happening fast. Things are happening fast. So you don't really have time to truly think because they're placing you on jobs. You're learning things. So when I got there, I had to set up my tent. Um, you're just happy to be there. All type of shit. Like you're just happy to be there. It's all type of shit. You're not really thinking clearly. Clearly, you left I left everything to join. So I was already like having faith that this is my family, that this is it. So I'm also having like a lot of trust, a lot of
Like
faith.
this has to work.
Yeah, like this is it. Like this is it. Like and the reason that some people may think like, oh, well, why did you run on the rocks? Well, because I don't like to be made to seem weak, and I believe that this is my journey. I also believe I was being tested. I thought that they was trying to see if I could do it, if I could run on the rocks, and then how strong I am. And I'm like, I could do it. I could run on the rocks. So I didn't stop running on the rocks. But over time, I did feel I was about to cry because that shit was hurting bad. And like mind you, like you don't even want to walk on the rocks because they hurt.
Were the
Like
other men in pain too, or was it like they were like, okay, well, this is a trying to break you down as a woman?
they were hurt. They were hurt too. They were hurt too. They don't like to run on the rocks. They don't want to run on those rocks. They would suck it up because they don't want to be made to look weak either. Cause they're being told to do it. They're being told to run on the rock. So and they're being told that it's for the betterment of to make them stronger. And they're being told that they gotta callus the bottom of their feet. Um and when they callus the bottom of their feet by doing this, they'll be more accustomed to the ground, and they'll be able to withstand the hot weather, the hot temperature of the ground, or they'll be able to just walk on the rocks and run on the rocks and catch food like
Was he
natural.
was he running on the rocks?
Eligio?
I was going to
Yeah.
ask the same thing. I was going to
No,
ask that. Well, did he run on it?
no, he wasn't. He was helping them do the rocks.
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but oh man,
That
what
was
a
the
punk!
key
You guys
indicator.
probably could have band together and whooped his ass.
Was
Right.
Yeah.
Musa on the
Can
rocks?
I ask you a real quick question too? I
Yeah.
noticed that there was a point where he made the women go topless. Did he try to do that with you?
Go topless? No.
Right? He did that with, I saw videos or
That was
pictures of
earlier
the
on when they
lady.
were in like Costa Rica and
Oh,
stuff.
Oh, I see.
are you talking about when we were? Yeah, we actually had to be naked in the jungle. They took pictures of us naked in the jungle, but we had to cover ourselves, um, like cover
Wow.
ourselves and things.
So
That's
fast
a
forward.
form of breaking them down.
Yeah, so
Anyway, I'm muted out. I'm listening. I'm listening.
so fast forward. Okay, you're there. You're running on rocks and stuff like that, and then this is where the Musa situation comes into play, right? So you ended up what did so were you and Musa like friends and like buddies at first? Like you were hanging out like who were you were y'all close to each other at all? Like
No, we weren't really close. Like I wasn't really close with none of them. Around this time, we were all supposed to be, friends and homies when I was there as a stud, and that's all I sent it as. That's all I sent it as, and I was excited to be there with them. I was excited to make music with them, and I was just excited to be accepted to what I thought was the kingdom, and I was with the Messiah, and that we were building, and we were the elite. We were gonna be building and working towards the kingdom and doing works for the kingdom. And so basically, what happened? Oh, I was still running on the rocks. Like after I had that meeting with him and he said, yeah, I could be here the way that I am. After that, I was still running on the rocks. Even after he said, why I got her running on the rocks. I was still running on them. And at the time it didn't register either because things are moving so quick. Like things are moving so fast. I'm just like, all right, well, we wake up in the morning, we did our workouts. Now we got to go run on these rocks. So I'm just like, bruh, you know. So,
he's y'all training from some imaginary thing that don't got nothing with that Lord knows what it is that you gotta have the strength with of your feet to run on
right,
lava and like hard rocks that cut your toes. I don't know what that training was for, but okay,
He was
exactly,
bored with something to do.
exactly. It's fucked up. It's fucked up because like they're thinking they're training for some shit, and whole time like he's just breaking everybody down, just breaking people down. And one of the dudes got, some of them was getting the rocks stuck in their foot. They had to. I remember Loyal had to get some tweezers and get the rock out. So I was like, when I think that, I was just like, bruh, why? This is fucking. I'm like, why is this all this extreme shit? But after a while, the rock started getting really annoying to me, and it started to literally affect me. And it did start to break me down a little bit. You feel me? And so basically, after this, he sends Musa. This is the move when Musa comes into play. He sends Musa to me to pretty much persuade me to come into my divine feminine. But what he says, Eligio won't let you be here the way that you are. And then he said, I feel like I look at you and I see, he says some type of stuff to like kind of like touch you, like you make you feel like um he was just trying to be really, he was just being really manipulative and like saying, I feel like you belong to me. I feel like you need help, you need guidance, shit like that. So I'm just like, okay, so part of me feels like, do I need help? Do I need guidance? Because I'm young too. I was young, and like I'm just like, do I need help? Do I need guidance? Like low key thinking like, but I was also caught off guard. Like I was just caught off guard, and he was looking at me like forceful too. So that caught me off guard, and I was just like,
when you say forceful, was it like in a sexual manner or was it like a forceful like when he was talking to you, was it in a romantic way or was it in like a he's not going to accept you the way you are, blah, blah, or was it like a smooth, like he's trying to be smooth with you type of thing?
well, it looked forceful, like like how he was looking at me, like he was kind of looking at me like with the side eye, like this, like like you, like serious, like he was looking serious as hell, and it caught me off guard because I'm just like, what the fuck.
Wow.
And he's like, Alihio won't let you be here the way that you are. I feel like you belong to me. I feel like you need help, you need guidance, things like so he's pretty much in the lump sum, he's saying that they saying that I can't be there the way that I am. And so I'm just like, okay, um it's either I say yes or I have to go,
Mm.
and I leave the kingdom of heaven and things like that. So I was caught off guard, and I said yeah, I was caught off guard. I was just like, yeah, like, but I didn't really mean that, you feel me? And I also told him, I made sure to tell him that I wanted to, if I do this, I want to take my time. I don't want to just jump right into anything. The reason I said that is because I really wanted time to think. You feel me? Because like I said, I still believe that this was my mission and my journey. And even though like it was maybe difficult or whatever, like I was still willing to um I was probably still willing to do it or whatever. But my thing is I really wanted time to think. You feel me? That was my whole thing of saying that if I do this, I want to take my time. So I wanted time to think. And then at the same time, I'm thinking like, is this a test? Are they testing my commitment? I didn't know if my commitment was being tested or not. So I like I said, I was thrown off. I was just like, yeah,
Right, because he wasn't even was he gone by that time? By the time that you got approached, he wasn't even there anymore. Was he there?
Alihio.
Yeah, was he out of town in Atlanta, or was he still in Puerto Rico at this time?
No, he was still in Puerto Rico. He was still in Puerto Rico.
Okay, so that's when he was doing the Doctor Bishop, and you got dressed up as a in a female outfit, and said, okay, well, I believe that I need to get more of my divine feminine. That's the thing we saw in Bigo.
Yeah, and that was manipulated as well. And or they, because remember, I told him that I wanted to take my time. Um, if I do this, I want to take my time. And literally like the next like couple days later, they're telling me, can you put on a wrap and a hair wrap and things like that, just for Bigo Live. It's just for content. It's just for right now. If you want to go back to being yourself, you could go back to just being yourself. But can you just do it for content, just for live right now? It's to help spread the message.
And it looked kind of funny. Nyla, you had something to say?
Oh, because you were constantly manipulated, your mental thinking was breaking down. So you weren't you weren't able to make clear choices. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel you basically did you and Eligio, if you don't mind me asking, I hope I'm not being too invasive, did you all have intimate relations?
No.
Okay, so it was only with the Musa?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel like you were raped by Musa?
Yeah.
May I ask why you didn't press charges?
Because I'm just now realizing this. I haven't thought about it. I haven't been able to process my emotions. And like I said, I don't know if y'all watched my video, but I already talked about this and everything. But
Yeah, yeah, we did watch your video. Yeah, we did. We
okay,
Yeah,
just want to. We just want. Yeah, go ahead.
well, I haven't been able to process my emotions and what happened to me after the cult for a minute. I've been avoiding it because um is like I've touched on certain things, but right after I left the cult, Musa actually called me and he apologized to me 3 times.
yeah, he knew he raped you. He knew what he had done. He is basically out there free when he should be in jail with Nature Boy.
True.
He is out there free to do, and basically he now has some 18, 19-year-old that's out there, pick me pretty please, that's out
Right.
there, you know, I guess I want to say picketing for him on, or being his defense against you, because You know, his latest video that he done is straight up despicable. It is so freaking disgusting. He should be in jail because he raped you. It's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. He did that, and he's not being accountable. He stated that he don't even know your name. He is a disgusting pig, and he needs to be in jail
I'm
immediately.
about to play that right now. Let's play his response.
Video. If because I really don't know, so I'm just gonna put that out there. Nobody can say anything. If there's anything about Mama Nine going out or whatever her name was at the time, speaking on our a relationship we had in the past and what it was, I just pray that one, people are not taking the negative perspective or one side perspective. Two, um, I don't know her real name, but I pray that she doesn't continue to hold on to the victim perspective for anything, for any unrighteous reasons, for no attention or
Wow.
That is no accountability at all for what he done. He is disgusting. And he does not need to be free to do this to somebody else. No accountability at all. Ugh.
Right. And my thing is that's what made me. I think that's what, like I said, right after leaving the cult, he apologized to me 3 times, and I was freshly out the cult, so I was still believing that I wasn't a victim, that I did this to myself. I was still believing that I did this to myself. I did this to myself. I'm not a victim. So that's what I was trying to tell people, that we were programmed over there to constantly say these things. I'm not a victim. I did this to myself.
And
I'm
Nature
not.
Boy would slap people and say you slapped yourself. You shit like that. So
Yeah,
yeah,
you did it to yourself. You did this to yourself.
How long was Musa with Nature Boy? Wasn't he the first one to be with Nature Boy, if I'm not mistaken?
Um,
Wasn't he the
I'm not sure.
first so-called
I
soldier?
I think he was one of the first or second. Like, I think True and Musa probably was one of like the first two. I think. I'm not
It's
sure.
True came after Musa, right? Wait, what is that, Monica? How does that go? Do you know?
I, I don't know. I think Musa was there first. I'm not sure. I don't
I
know how
think he was
long.
the number one soldier. I'm not sure, and he was there for years. So he had to like what uh many people had came and gone, but Musa was one that stuck by him because they have the same personality. They are the same people, characteristics. And it took him a long time to leave. And I think the reason why he leave because he knew that heat was coming down. And he knew what he had partaked in, what partook in, and he knew what was coming down. He knew that, it was a chance that he was going to jail, which he should be there.
Right.
Because, in that, for instance, what did I say, Monica? Was it Charles Manson? Which is not similar because they did murder people, but I mean, everybody went to jail. There was no chance for his disciples to say, he made me do it.
You know what's so
They
crazy
are
is that
went to jail.
what's so crazy is that like now he has this one girl sitting next to him talking about some we why don't we just we need to still go to the tropics. I'm like, girl, it's over.
Oh, yeah, that pissed
Let
me
it
off.
go. If you want to go to the tropics, go get on Spirit Airlines and go to the tropics. You know what I'm saying? Like, or whatever airline you can afford. But they like they were living in their car when I saw them. So, go wherever you go to the tropics. Ain't nobody stopping you from going to. It don't have to be a cult and everybody come together in a commune to go to the tropics.
Right.
Just go to the tropics.
Plane tickets are like taxis now. Like you could jump on a plane. The tickets are not expensive anymore.
And another thing I wanted to really get into is that okay, and this is why I really think this is a really important story because okay, there's different types of LGBT studs, right? You have some studs that are consider themselves untouchables, right? Meaning that they don't want their private parts to be touched in any kind of way. I'm not sure. Are you the same way?
Yeah. I'm like, Like I don't like certain things. No, I don't like penetration. I don't like my chest to be touched. Like none of that. Like I just like head. That's
And
it.
that's even by a woman. So you're at, even you in your relationships with a woman, you don't want to be touched in your private areas.
Right. No.
So for a man to do it, I can imagine the trauma because you already have this conviction, and then this person is telling you to do this because of the divine feminine, and to do it for the divine, to become into your how could that's going to bring you into your divine feminine? If anything, that's going to traumatize you more.
And
Right.
he was saying that he, eh, would gaslight her afterwards, saying, "I just was having sex with you. You was just sex to me." I mean, I
Yeah,
pray that
yeah.
you um come to the decision to press charges against him,
You
because
right.
that was foul what he did.
Right.
I don't want to push you, but he needs to be in jail
You
with
told
an
him that you didn't want to do that, correct?
At first I did. That's why I'm saying like at first when I first left, like I said, I was still programmed. So like I thought I did to myself. I'm not a victim. All this. I was making excuses, justifying shit, and he was like he apologized too. So that was manipulative, because he apologized 3 times. Like he called me 3 times and apologized, and was just like, yeah, sorry. Lehio sent me, he said Eligio sent him after me, and that was true, because I noticed something. I had peeped when I first got there. Eligio, we were all standing in a line, and I was at the end of the line, like for like I think it was like 13 of us in a line. I was at the end of the line, and this is around when I first got there. Eligio came with in a van with all his wives, and when he came up to Musa, well, he came up to the line of people standing there like the disciples, and then he shook up everybody's hand. And when he got to Musa, he was more in the front. He said, "Do you want this light skinned shorty? Like she for you and stuff like that." And Musa would pretty much was like, "Yeah, I want her." And I didn't know who they was talking about, because I was there a stud, and I'm thinking they're talking about some light skinned person that's gonna come join, and it's gonna be with Musa or whatever.
Are you looking around like who? Like I know you ain't talking about
Yeah,
me.
I'm just like, who else is here? I'm thinking maybe somebody on the way that else that I don't know, and and all this other shit. But I did realize that part of it is true, that Eligio sent Musa after me.
Wow, and that's a disingenuous. Oh yeah, we accept you for who you are. Meanwhile, sneaking behind, yeah, you're gonna have to go ahead and get her and just try to convert her over. Come on now. And
Hmm.
here's another thing is that when you ended up developing a friendship with, what's her name? What, Wise or Wizzy, or she was
Yeah.
on Knowledge.
Hmm. Knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah, so and he tried to exploit that friendship and exploit that and kind of embarrass you in certain ways, like almost kind of make it seem like you had did something to her.
Right.
Like it isn't, and then he had a whole thing, Dr. Bishop, about that, like you had like forced her or did something and all this other crazy stuff.
Right. Nah. Nobody forced anybody and did anything. Knowledge, knowledge was flirting with me. He didn't know that at the time, but I felt energy from her, and we were playing around. We were just playing around that day, and she was acting like she was asleep or whatever, and I seen her eyes like open, so I'm like doing funny faces in front of her face and stuff, just being funny, because I could see her eyes like slightly opening and stuff. And it was funny to me, like we're just playing around. And so it was energy there, but no one was forced on her or did anything like that. So
Right. So do you think that a lot of that was done because they've like pressure from Nature Boy, like because of like the whole you need to be in your divine feminine? Do you think that that she might have, or somebody might have gotten to her head about that situation? Like maybe from,
yeah, like talking about like when they was asking me to dance with them.
yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. They was like telling me like coming to my divine feminine. They would always be trying to help, like I guess help me come into my divine feminine, find ways to help me, because that they knew that that's what Eligio wanted. And like I said, Eligio would send people, um, like he sent Zoka and Sheba one day to talk to me and ask me, did I want to go back to just being myself? And I thought I had a chance. I thought I had a chance. I'm just like, yo, that would be dope. You know, like I could be here. If I could be here and be myself, like hell yeah. And so I'm thinking that was my chance, right? And so next thing you know, they're like, okay, if you want, you can wear shorts and things. And they're like, they pretty much just telling me these things, getting me happy. And then next thing you know, like the next morning, because we have a meeting every morning when I was with the woman, we had a meeting every morning, and they at the table in the morning, they're like, oh, I know what we told you yesterday, but you can't, and things like that. And I'm just like,
And so, do you think it was the chief doing that, or you think that they were? What do you think that they were starting to basically it within their own thing, like kind of go back and forth with stuff, like
that that was definitely Eligio doing that. I think he was doing that because when they had to talk with me, I could tell because when they told me that I couldn't, they said something about Eligio. They was like,
mm.
Eligio this, and like I could just tell based off how they were saying it that it was coming from him.
So, have you talked to Musa since then? Like, I mean, have you guys like since this has come out? Have you talked to him, like to talk about anything like at all?
No,
No, no.
no, but my thing is he lied on the because I seen part of his video when he was talking about that recent video he put out.
Yeah, yep.
I seen that, and basically he lied and said that I hit him up and said, don't post any photos of us. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I didn't say it like that either. I said that if you have any videos or photos of us in carbonation and I find them like surfacing on the web, that I'm gonna go to the law,
Right,
because
right.
that's basically what I said.
Huh. So that's what you said. You didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. He just tried to gloss over it. Like so you did let him know that you would go to the law.
In the sense, yeah, in a sense, I didn't let him know that I'm going to the law like right now, but like I
No, I'm
said,
saying like when you told him, you said if I find any pictures and this, that, the other, then I will go to the law. You did
right.
say that.
Hmm.
Nyla,
That
you have
whole
to
video,
go ahead, Nyla.
that whole video was contradictory. And it to me, he just looked very guilty, and he was doing these fake yawns throughout the video. And also he had an alarm set on the video where we can see, and it stated 9:40, it's your bedtime. So he was totally nervous being on that video. I mean, he was doing fake alarms. He set an alarm to let us sleep, see that he got to go to sleep. It was crazy. He just appeared very guilty. And
Right.
the child that was sitting next to him that was dressed in a burqa, which is slavery itself, she was just aggravating and annoying.
Wow. Yeah, man. This
Yeah.
is being in the situation is even more crazier because I'm battling all of these things. I wasn't able to process my emotions after leaving for a minute because I was already brainwashed and believing that I did it to myself and that I'm not a victim. He apologized. I thought that was that. And I guess I was trying to rush past it and just like not pay attention to it. Like that's just how I am, and I'm realizing that that's how I am. Like I just want to not pay attention to it and kind of rush past it and just not even think about it or focus on it. Like it's hard for me to even do videos like this. Like, but I'm strong because I realized that my life was online and all of this was online, and so I know that I have to speak about this. I have to give people the clarity of what happened. And so I know that that's why I got to be strong and talk about it, but I don't like talking about it. I don't like thinking about it. And I don't, you feel me? But like I said, I had because of that, I haven't been able to process my emotions and I was brainwashed after leaving, I was still brainwashed, and he apologized to me immediately, like 3 times. And so, like I said, time went by, and then I was also going through a lot in my life. I got out of a relationship with knowledge. We were going through a lot at that time.
So you guys are no longer together now. You
No,
with knowledge? Oh wow. I was rooting for. We were rooting for you. We
I
were
know.
rooting for
I was
you.
rooting.
But
I
you know
was
that was
rooting
a
for us
trauma
too.
bond.
I was rooting for us too. But
That was a trauma bond. It came out of that traumatic situation. There might be still a chance, but I'm sure that it's like a lot of trauma that brought it together. So you have to get through the trauma individually
right,
first before you can come together. Because
right,
you've been through a very traumatic thing. Someone raped you in the cult,
right,
and you
right,
never really got to deal with it. You're just now coming out with that. How that relationship could never work because at that time because you had a open wound.
right. And it's really just manipulative and programming and brainwashing, because to for him to sit up here and be on that video saying to not be a victim and things like that is like, it's just manipulative in itself. It's just manipulative.
Gaslighting.
Because like,
Gaslighting. And
huh?
then for him to have the woman there to back him up and say, my life is so much better since I met her. This woman's 18 years old, by the way. She's 17 or 18, 19.
Right,
Well, she's like a
Yeah.
child. I think he's in his 30s. I don't know how old he is, but it's like, dude, you're basically making this young woman be like like almost I don't know.
Classic nature boy 2.0.
right,
And
Yeah.
she wasn't there, so she should just not say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like you weren't there.
Exactly.
As a woman, you should never come against another woman if they say that something like that happened,
right.
especially if you weren't there.
Hmm.
Right. And she was saying, why this still coming up? I mean, well, roosters come back to crow. That's why it's coming up. And he should be held accountable. This is why it's coming up.
Right. And
Right.
also, I want y'all to understand something else. When I first left, I didn't realize that there were different types of rape.
Mhm.
Right, right,
So that's another reason why I thought I did it to myself. That's
right.
why. Because I didn't know there were different types of rape. People aren't educated about that. I didn't know that, that there were different types of rape. Like I said, I have said no to him. I have said no to him. And he told me I still had to do it because I was his woman.
Hmm.
So
Wow. Yeah. So that's yeah. And you guys weren't married. He didn't even know your name.
Yeah.
That's the part that's crazy about it. He
I,
didn't know. He
I
didn't know your name. What is that? I don't even know her name. Well, what?
He knows her name.
he's
He
lying.
knows
I
her
swear
name.
he's lying. I swear he's acting. He's acting. He's lying. He know
He's
my
a
name.
butthole.
He knows my name. I think he's lying.
Latent butthole.
Probably trying to make it seem like he's not interested in me and I don't care. I don't be talking about her or getting like, I don't know what he's trying to make it seem like, but I'm sure he knows my name. It ain't
But that why would he even say that? Like that makes it look even more guilty because if you don't know what her name is, you guys weren't married, and you force yourself on her sexually. That's even worse. So like, and no marriage ceremony really happened, correct? So
no.
like, y'all wasn't married. You wasn't his wife. You know what the fuck?
There are meant to me, for my opinion, there are more than just, nature boy shouldn't be in jail by itself. Some of the women should be there too. Musa definitely should be there with his disgusting PS.
Right.
What is his name? What's the other guy name? True. Is it True? What's his name?
True. Yeah. True.
He
Aaron, his name is
should,
Aaron.
yeah, he should be there. It's like they got off. I mean, these are little nature boys out in public.
I say Aaron has healed though. Aaron has actually
You know what?
came to
Yeah,
grips with
I,
his
I
healed.
just want to say that he seems to be different, but Musa, no, no, he's a nature boy.
Mm.
Period.
I think he's just basically tried to step away from everybody because, but I believe that if he could, if he could have like put together something, he probably would have. You know what I'm saying? But I think a lot of people are struggling outside of that cult. They've had a lot of struggles, making it, getting by, especially if they don't have the family structure, you know. So, how is your support system? Do you have a support system?
Yeah, I got a support system. I mean, I talk to my family. I talk to my family. I mean, I don't talk to them about like really about what happened to me there. Like, I gave like a when I first left, my mom was there when I gave my first interview. So I like a broad thing what happened. I didn't really go too much into detail. The video that I dropped was when I went really into detail, and I told y'all the step by step how they played with my mind, how certain things and how and I could only have noticed that over time. Like honestly, it was divine timing that I dropped the video recently. It was divine timing because I needed that time to even gather all of those thoughts.
Yeah.
Like over time, I started to realize more things that I didn't realize while I was there. Every time it's like it's almost as if every time I go over the story and I think about what happened to me, I start to see more things and more things, and that's just how it went. So over time, I gathered the story, so like when you're in the midst of the chaos, you're in the midst of all of this shit happening, you don't know what to believe, you don't know if your commitment is being tested, you don't know what's going on. So in the midst of all of this, you know you don't have time to think. You're also being put in charge, you're being kept busy. um your mind is being played with. They make it seem like you're going to go back to being yourself. Also, on top of that, you believe that this is the messiah in your journey, and then
And then you're told that you need to be with this person to get into your divine feminine, and you are coming in there as an LGBT. How long did you when since how long have you been living as a stud?
not that long. I mean, I would say when I was like 16, 17.
So 16, 17. So you started at 16, 17. You got with Nature Boy in them at what age?
So 21.
21. So what, 5 years? So you've been
Mhm.
5 years as a stud, 16, 17. Your first, you actually have been with one person before that, right? One male.
Yeah, because he used to, and it's crazy how that happened because I wasn't even interested in him. That's the crazy part. Like I gave in to my first boyfriend because he used to wait outside the bus stop for me every day. And people don't know that. People don't you know that it's crazy. Like I thought that maybe, I'm like, at this point, like I used to walk right past them every day. I used to walk right past them, just I'm not interested, not interested, not interested.
Right. Right. They don't take the hint sometimes, child. They don't take the hint. And so you basically went you that was your first and only, and basically after that is Musa.
Yeah. Mm,
6 years later.
yeah.
And so those are your cumulative experiences. Wow.
Yeah. So that's just a story of that. And like I said, like people don't understand like the journey of even coming into a stud. Like she said, like from birth till 16, 17, I was programmed to be a woman and to be feminine. I was already like wearing feminine clothes. I broke out of the feminine clothes when I got 17, like 16, 17, because I was like, I want to be comfortable. I'm ready to be
But you
comfortable.
know what? Feminine is both. That's the thing, Nyla. Please tell her. Femininity is not defined by clothing. Femininity is both masculine and female. We give birth to men. First of all, we are men. We are man. We are both. We are everything. We are the creator. Okay, because we create life straight up. So nobody can ever tell you and get you into your divine feminine. You are already femininely divine. You have both X's. You don't have XY. You have both X's. So you're already divine feminine.
Right,
You're just more in touch with your masculine aspect. Okay, so that we gotta change that. No, you be
right.
who you are. But go
It's,
ahead, girl. Here, I'm sorry. I
that,
had to give. I had to.
now that's real. And
My mantra, my mantra every morning is I am who I am, and that is good enough.
Facts.
Hmm.
But go ahead, girl. You was growing up as a kid. I'm sure they dressed you up in pigtails and had the cute little outfit, pink and
Right.
everything. And one day
Yeah.
you was like, "Bump all that. I don't want to wear that pink outfit." Your mom
Yeah.
probably bought you a pink, cute little sweatshirt. You was like, "Man, mom, I'm not gonna wear it." She probably was like,
Yeah.
well, "Why didn't you wear the pink outfit I got you?"
Right.
And
Yep.
your mom was going hard for you when you were there.
Because I saw some little cute little pictures of her when she was like a little girl, and she had little pink little stuff on, and her
Yep.
mom had dressed her. She
Mom
was
is
gonna
not
she was gonna be her
playing.
little cute little baby that she dressed up and got to play dress up with and everything. I
Right.
can see it.
Yep. Yep. So, but
She was
yeah.
not playing. Her baby was coming up out of there.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's what I want y'all to understand. And the people, I want the people to understand that, being a stud or everything, it's like you're raised to be different. And it actually takes a lot to just come out of that because you're scared of what people might think. It's because being gay is frowned upon, things like that. And it's just people are born how they born and are who they are. You feel me? And nothing's wrong with that. But you know how society could be, and it just takes a minute for a stud to even come into themselves. So I wasn't even a stud for that long, and my mind was manipulated by who I thought was to believe was the modern day Jesus, and he played with my mind, and he told me that I could. He basically just kept playing with my mind. You going back and forth, and
Your mom accepts you for who you are, correct? Because she was the first one to say she's lying, y'all. She
Yeah, she
your,
did say that.
your mom was like, no. Your mom was like, she know her daughter. She said
yeah,
she lied.
and yeah, she was definitely correct. She was definitely correct that I was lying.
Yeah.
Well,
I
I
was,
was gonna go ahead.
I was lying for what I thought was the kingdom of heaven and the modern day Jesus, and I couldn't make him look bad on camera, so I had to fake it and make it seem like it was real. So I knew I had to make it seem real because he don't like when you make him look bad on camera. Like we literally experience people getting yelled at, getting in trouble, getting treated poorly, badly because they make him look bad on live.
Wow. So you had to put on a whole performance. They had that little head wrap on you, all crazy looking. It wasn't even wrapped tight. It was kind of loose a little bit. Like it was lopsided. The head wrap was. They didn't even put it on all the way right. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like
Lopsided. Um,
I'm in my divine feminine. Man, I know your mom was like, man, get out of here. Your mom probably was like,
right. She like, "Rick, come home."
oh man, what you doing? So I'm so happy to like do this interview with you. Nala, do you have any more questions?
No. Um, just process some more what was happened to you, and what happened to you, and if you could find the strength, stand up for yourself.
Right.
You know.
And
Right.
Um,
whatever you need, we're here. But yeah, I'm definitely here for you.
Facts.
and
Appreciate.
if you if you feel like standing up for yourself is going within healing, going in and healing within yourself, and not addressing Musa, that's still strong strength within itself. But think about him being out there having a chance to do this to another.
And also he's actually making it seem like, well, she needs to keep my name out her mouth, kind of thing. Like he got some secret thing that he'll come out with, or he got some things he can come out with, or something
Yeah,
like
he
that. So
pushing it.
he was kind of
Some,
making it seem like he had something that he was going, so whatever, you know.
yeah, he did say that he had evidence or something to that nature. He said he had evidence on his phone, something like that. What
You know,
was it?
I don't know what evidence he got. Like what evidence he got.
I mean, basically, his evidence is lies. I mean, he's a liar. But yeah, he did state that.
And
I think he's trying to intimidate a person not to continue to speak out. But
yeah,
this is your story.
yeah, that's what he's doing. Trying to intimidate me and try to scare me and try to make it seem like he gonna release some shit out on me. And like I said, that's I had hit him up and said like, if you have any photos, videos of us that, and he said he don't. He said I don't have any photos or videos of us. You don't have to worry about that. So if you're threatening me, what are you threatening me with? You threatening me with a photo, a video? Like, what are you threatening me with? Because I
And
know,
that's called revenge. So that, like, I'm not sure if it's any like stuff like that. Like
yeah.
the
So
person already got arrested for that. So I hope he's not talking about something like that.
right, if you're talking about something like that, then you're really going down. You're really
I
going.
think I
You're
think he. Go ahead. I'm sorry because I don't want to interrupt you. I want to hear what you have to say.
no. You go ahead. You go ahead. I was saying he really going down if he do that. Especially if you do that, that's two. Would that be double charges? That'd be rape and revenge porn or whatever the fuck he got. I don't know what he got. You feel me? Because I just don't know.
I don't think he has anything. I think he was just trying to make himself look good and appear innocent to others. I don't think he has anything. He's just a piece of shit.
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy. If anything, he should have called you and said, "Man, I'm sorry you felt that way." But he gets online, I guess, because he feels like that this was done online. But if he really felt any conviction, go ahead.
Right. He felt like he probably got to protect his name or some shit, and he probably just scared, and like, oh, like what's gonna happen?
She better not do anything more. She just need to leave my name out of it. I don't know if she said something about me or not. But why are you all of a sudden out talking about it? You know what I'm saying? You haven't said nothing this whole time. Now all of a sudden you come out. It has to be because of when she came out. You come out right after she come out, but then you acting like you didn't even know whether or not it was someone told it might have been whatever. It,
Right.
it's giving
Man,
them
he watched her video 10 times, shaking the whole time.
right, right, it's quivering, just shivering and shaking in the corner and stuff like they couldn't go to
Okay.
sleep, rocking back and forth.
That,
I'm sure he was, child.
that hair, he was shaking so much that head wrap that he got wrapped up like a girl was about to fall off the head.
Right,
That's just
girl. We're not gonna hold you too much longer, man. We had a great time, like discussing this. We would love to have you back at any moment. We have a lot of things coming up in the future that I would love for you to be a part of. I really hope that you get just the justice that you deserve. Okay. Um, and we're gonna also go over to give Janae some support over at the Nick at Night. She's
Right.
on that show. But like tomorrow, we have Janae coming to Alchemizing Energy to tell her story as well. Um, I just wanted to say that you are a divine feminine. Okay, no
Mhm.
one has to teach you that. You are a divine feminine.
Right.
And
You're strong. I mean, this is very courageous what you're doing. So many people this happened to and they are embarrassed not to say anything about it, and I just want to thank you for being so strong to, you know, talk about this. I really appreciate this and I admire you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
and
Appreciate it.
like we're about to close this thing out. Is there any last words that you would like to say, Trey?
Oh, me. Oh, um, no, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. That this is like still processing everything, and I think that I think justice will be served. Um, I think that I should, because part of me was feeling like what if he was really just persuaded by Alihio and things like that, like all this other stuff.
Yep. Well, thank
Yes,
God
in
it's
that
over with.
video, there was no persuasion by Eligio, Nature Boy. He is Nature Boy. From that last video, yeah, he's Nature Boy. There's no persuasion there. He
Number
he
two,
was the
he nature.
longest right. He was his longest standing soldier, rightfully so, because he's just like him.
Mhm.
Mm.
My
So
last words.
that's the last word. And I want to say that, I thank you for coming to the show. And the like final thing that we always do on this show, we say, I am so and so. And
Oh,
this,
me.
yes, my name is I'm Tre.963. This is alchemizing, and I'm alchemizing energy, bringing darkness to light.
All right.
Or
This,
no, this is Tre.963, and I'm bringing darkness to light with alchemizing energy.
all right, bet. This is
Okay.
Tre.963, and I'm bringing darkness to light with alchemizing energy.